Hey, so the look I'm going to do today is actually like a really soft, really pretty rainbow. Almost like an infinity. It starts with a lighter in the middle and, wraps around, all meshing beautifully. So if you would like to see how I did this, stay tuned. So we're going to start out by, I already did my foundation and I'll go over doing that a little later in another video. But I'm going to start out by priming my eyelids with an actual just concealer. I find that this concealer works better as a primer than it actually does as concealer because it is not my color. They don't make colors wide enough for me. So this is this 24-hour Super Stay. Just got the typical wand. So what I'm going to do is, because this one is just for me, I'm just going to actually put it on my eyebrows. So just do 2 dots. That's all you need. This stuff goes a long way. So set that over there. And I'm just going to actually pat it into place. Now, I have some weird allergies, and I get these spots on my eyes that actually just like don't keep the makeup on there, which is really frustrating and annoying. So I find when I pat this on and I don't actually rub it, that I have had less problems with those allergy spots, making my makeup either crease or just not stay on at all, which is annoying. Hello, spring! Yay! So, and it tends to be on the inner, the tear duct and underneath, so I have been also trying to use lighter colors there too, so that if it does come off, because it's being all stupid and stuff, then you don't see it so much. Alright, let's start out, where did it go? Here, right here. With my MAC white, it's called Crystal Avalanche, but it's a white with a shine to it. So I'm going to use that as the highlighter color, just right under my brow. And I only use this highlight color that's literally white because white is the only thing I can put on my skin that is going to highlight it even more than a cream color. So if you have a darker skin tone, then you may want to use more of a cream color, like a vanilla beige or something. But I am going to use shimmery white. Alrighty, and I'm also going to put a little bit of that into my tear duct, just to keep the eyes nice and bright. Oh, and I'm using a round, almost a fluffy brush, but not really fluffy. But I find that this works best, and I only use light colors with this brush so that I don't have to clean it as often. Whoops. Alright, so we got our highlighter going. We are going to start with the color. So this is the exciting part. I am going to be using, it's a Manly palette, it's 120 colors, so I actually got it on eBay for like $11. The brand is Manly, even though it doesn't say it on the packaging. On the site that I got it on eBay, it did say Manly, so I'm just going to go ahead and go with that. But this is what the palette looks like. I'm going to be using this palette, which is the palette on top. It's a dual paletted palette. And then this is the other side. So I'm going to start off with a yellow in the center because I find that it's a brighter color, so it's easy to do towards the center of the eye. Alrighty. So I am going to start out with, let's see. I'm going to start out with this color here. It's a really light yellow, and then I will go down to this color next. So I'm actually going to use my fingers. If I were to be doing it on somebody, I would use a really flat brush to kind of compact that color on there, but I find that using my fingers just works really well, and there's less fallout, so I'm actually keeping most of the product onto my fingers. So I'm going to go ahead and rub that. This is the first one, so I'm going to put it right in the inside. This is the very first layer, and we're going to be doing a few colors, so you're going to want to not really, don't put this all over your eyelid because we have a lot more to do. So start with the yellow right on the inside. I'm sorry my zoom is so bad. I have to like move forward. So I'm going to start with the yellow. Making sure you get that nice and saturated. If not, we can go back later and I'll go back later and add more on top. Just to make sure I keep it super bright. And I'm going to kind of pull it into over that white. See? There we go. On the side. Alrighty. So now I'm going to go into that next darker shade. Actually, well, yeah, I already have it on my finger. I'm going to tap some of that lighter yellow right next to it. Okay. Now we're going to jump right into green because we are going pretty quickly, or not quickly, but anyway, I'm jumping into the green now. So I'm going to go for, it is this green here. It's kind of a really a yellow kind of a shimmer to the green, and I love it. And these are really, really pigmented too. So they work really, really great for transitioning, and they blend very well too. So I'm going to add that green. So we're just literally just doing color by color and overlapping it on top of that, over top of the yellow, so that at the end it just kind of seamlessly blends. And getting the colors really close and doing it in the way of like a rainbow really helps it be easier to blend to. It's not so splotchy. Just getting your colors right is also another huge thing. Getting those colors right. I need an additional mirror. So now just kind of blending those together. Okay, so now we're going to pop onto an actual true, almost a Kelly green, not so yellowy and not so light. So we are going to go with, this one's actually really creamy. It's up here. It's one of those like dual colored ones, but I'm going to go with that color. I like a nice shimmery Kelly green over the top of that other one. And just remember to keep your sections really, really tiny because we have a lot of surface area to cover. Alright, so that green is done. We had some more, just kidding. Okay, now we're going to have to kind of rush into the blue. So I'm going to grab a green that's got a lot of blue tones to it, just so we can skip into the blues now. So I'm actually going to grab this teal that's right here and use that as a kind of a transitional to blue. And again, we are overlapping and then going into its own area. Alright. We're looking really colorful. It looks kind of crazy right now. I mean, the whole look is kind of crazy, but I love it. Very bright. But, so I'm looking kind of like a clown at the moment. So now I'm going to jump into a really dark blue that I can easily jump right into that dark purple, since we are getting basically to the out of the corner of my eye. So I'm running out of room. So we're going to go with this really dark, almost just a simple royal blue, basically. That was great. That was great. So So right on the edge, and then blend that baby in with the other one. Right. And when using your finger too, I feel like I can get a better just overall shape. You see how round that is? And it's not really, I don't have anything extra down here. Not that I really have to take a big fluffy brush and actually brush away because of the fallout. So using your fingers on yourself is better. I know they look kind of crazy now, but I usually have a towel to wipe it off, but I didn't come prepared today, so come prepared. So now I'm gonna pop to my other palette on the bottom, which has most of the warm tones, the pinks, the purples. So I am jumping to this one. So I'm gonna go with, which is one of my favorites, is this almost a blue violet kind of a shade. I don't want something too pinky because then it kind of takes away from the pink I'm going to add on top of it later. So I'm going to just start adding it up in the corner. You will see what I'm doing. Adding literally, bringing that that corner out almost like it's a wing, so it's going to be pretty dramatic. But I'm going to add that right on top of the blue again to keep that nice easy shading that literally I'm doing with my fingers. Gosh, that's so annoying. I'm doing it with my fingers, so it looks pretty good for doing it with your fingers. So put my mirror back up. Alrighty. There we are. Woo. So we have our purple with the blue, and now we're going to add the pink. Running out of fingers. And a lot of these pinks are actually, unless they're really shimmery with this palette, because this is a cheaper palette, some of them tend to be chalky, and I'm actually going to use a brush for the pink and the orange that is going to pull into the yellow. It's like a circular loop. So I'm actually going to use a brush for those, not my fingers. But it's good to use your fingers for the majority of your eyelid that you need the most color actually on. So I'm going to grab, if I'm not losing everything. So I'm going to grab that fluffy brush that I was using before, and I'm actually, I only use light colors with it, I'm going to go purple with it. So I'm going to grab some of this, it's almost like a cranberry pink, and this tends to be a little more colorful. Just going to blow that off, and then just pull that right into the purple. See how I did that? And this is more of a kind of a cranberry actually, but I will add some pink to that in a moment. Alright. And now I'm going to go through and actually add, I'm going to use this color here, if I can grab it, this pink here. Now the color on this one isn't great, but it's okay because I'm doing it in a smaller area, so I don't need it to be as extreme as it would on the eyelid. Alright, and then you just kind of blend that in with that cranberry and almost out to where your purple was, just to give it a nice smooth transition. And then lastly, I'm going to pull into some orange, which was actually in that first palette that I used. I'm going to grab some orange to tie that back in with the yellow in the center, so that it's all complete. So I'm going to grab this really, really bright orange, right here. Now it looks a little more neon on the camera actually with the lighting and stuff, but it's just a very true orange. So I'm going to take that from that pink and blend it back down into the middle. Blend it down into the middle. Alright, see, we're looking crazy. So that is literally it for the color. What I'm going to do is take some more of that, some of that MAC of the white shimmer that I did use as a highlight and kind of highlight over that again, and then take that highlight and blend my color with it. Sorry, I'm trying to get my shit situated. I'm going to wipe off my brush on my hand, even though, like I said, this is my first video, so I am not prepared. Be prepared, kids, again. So I'm going to take that shimmer color and just kind of actually add more white, or whatever your color is, to blend that in so it's not so extreme of a crease line or a line with your shadows. Because especially with a look like this, it's so bold, you gotta do it well. Because if you don't do it well, then you just look like shit. And nobody wants to look like shit. Add a little more of that into my tear duct to keep it nice and bright. Because I'm doing this as a daytime look. You can do it as a nighttime once I show you how I do the eyeliner and everything. You can do it for nighttime. And just line your waterline with some black, and then I would do black mascara on the bottom lash line, which I'm just going to do the top. So to keep it very fresh and daytime looking, I'm going to do it on the top. So I'll hurry up with this. So I'm going to take, it's a Maybelline Eye Studio. It's the cream liner, which is my favorite. I just haven't had very, very good luck with liquid liner. I hate it. It's shiny. I feel like your eyeliner shouldn't be shiny. Everybody's different. If you like shiny eyeliner, cool. I don't. I like it to look very matte because I feel like if it's more matte, your lashes aren't really shiny. So I don't want mine to be shiny. So I'm just going to take a little bit on this actual brush that it did come with. I got the product on there in the little pot that looks like this. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff, but it is good to kind of grab a decent amount. That way you're not pushing it around on your eyelid and actually scraping it where you can see there's a line where it's not at. So I'm going to start from the inside, from right at the middle of my lash line, and then make my wing and then pull the rest of the product towards the inside so that I don't have this big gaping eyeliner line. And I pull my eyes. Everybody does something different. If you don't want to pull your eyes, I know as I get older I probably won't want to pull them, but this is what works for me right now, and it's the way I've been doing it forever, so I think I should probably try and not pull them later, but it won't be today. Oop, well I already fucked up, but see, so I'm not making the wing super big. I'm just making enough to where you can see my lash line, but I don't want to make it big enough to where you actually cover some of your eyelids so that if you have smaller eyelids, like I have pretty big eyes, so it's easy for me to get a lot of color on my eyelids, and when my eyes are open that you can still see all the color. But the thinner, the smaller portion your eyelids are, the kind of thinner you're going to want to make your wing to look, because otherwise you don't want to cover the color you just did. You want to be able to see it all. So. Grab my mirror because I can't see. So I just did a really simple, so you can see it, really simple, nice, kind of a thin, moderate wing. Now I will do the other side. Now the trick is getting them both the same, so it's easier to do a little bit, and then it's always, you can always add more to it. So start out small, and if you need it to be bigger, add more. But don't add a bunch and then not be able to add more. So I just blend it out a little bit. Once you have your winged eye look done, I am going to just take a simple, just a black matte shadow and press that on top of my cream eyeliner just to keep it, like I said, nice and matte, and actually helps it down and not smudge as much later in the day. So I'm going to take, this is actually my eyebrow brush because I do have black hair. I use this for all my blacks. It's actually kind of a small fluffy brush that I actually cut at an angle so that it's nice and fluffy, but I still get that angle. Because I feel like a lot of angled brushes are really small and the bristles are very, very tight. So I kind of like something a little fluffy to fill in my eyebrows. Anyway, so I'm going to be using this. Just to pat that black shadow on there. Alright. So you have that. What I'm going to do next is just add a layer of mascara. And I am using, it's actually just a sample version, but it's the Clinique High Impact Mascara, and it's in 01 Black. So anyway, Clinique. I like to get a pretty thick coat on here. Um, it's kind of a dramatic look. Oh, don't poke your eyes. Alrighty, so I have my mascara. Everything's looking pretty full and complete. So what I'm also going to do is line my waterline, just the bottom though, with it's a Jordana Long Last eyeshadow pencil in white. So I'm just going to use white because it keeps it day, and except I just added so much. Pencil is so fat. So fat. Sorry. Alright, that was better. So that actually completes the eye look. What I'm going to do just really quick is do a little face contouring because I need to look like I have some sort of a pulse. Alrighty, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's my first one, so give me some slack. No, just kidding. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you see and you want to see more, subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. Have a good one.